For all of ourselves, there's something that is hiding in the bush. There's something all the time that is hiding in the bush, and we are just simply neglecting ourselves to get there all the time. You know, these little things, these little demons that are just inside of ourselves, and are just telling to ourselves that, hey, I'm just kind of do not want to go there. So, for example, for me, this was running all the time throughout my life, and whether you believe it or not, when I was back then, when I was a teenager, I was super afraid of PE classes because it pretty much looked like this. Everyone just went out there. We had to run 3 rounds in the sports field. I was shooting many videos back from there, and eventually we just simply had to run 1 kilometer. And back then I was like an obese kid. I was I was a fat one, and not necessarily that I didn't have the physique, but I was just kind of humiliated from this whole thing and kind of ashamed from this whole thing. So I was just like frightened, like dreadfully frightened from all the PE classes. And so what eventually ended up happening is that today, or not today, but I did pass the day, I pretty much celebrated, which I've been running every single day. Or, excuse me, I had a few days when I was not running, but I was doing burpees, which is worse than running, at least for me. I consider it as, I count it as a running session. So I was pretty much, I would phrase it like this: I was doing a cardio exercise, mid to high intensity cardio exercise every single day, which was a huge demon for me. And so today I really wanted to talk about these things that are really hiding inside of the bush, and the actual potential that is lying behind all those things. And when we are just simply willing to go there, when we are just simply willing to put on the shoes and willing to just put on the gloves and to just get to the places where we do not want to go to, like, whether you believe it or not, for me, the biggest life changers weren't the books, the new ideas that I've been blessed to gain from others, the enlightening moments and so on and so forth, but the actual day-to-day going to do that thing which I do not want to do. And I'm not necessarily talking about doing things which are not serving you at all. So, for example, like writing some BS homework if you're in school or something like that. But doing the things that I know that I'm supposed to be doing, but for some reason I'm choosing not to do them. And so again, running is one of my greatest things over here. But the same thing business-wise. So let me tell you this story so therefore I can further further express this idea. So almost 2 years ago, I started an agency, okay? So this was a digital marketing agency. And since I was a child, pretty much, or not a child, but a teenager, I really wanted to do something which is online, which is locationally independent, and where I can really build up a system. And so I started dropshipping stores and so on and so forth. And then my Facebook account got shut down, and not only because of that, but I just simply saw that this is not a sustainable business model. At least back then, what I thought this is not back then with my marketing knowledge, I thought that this is not a sustainable business model. But anyways, I really wanted to, my next thing going to business was to start an agency, to figure out how to sell people online, like throughout a camera, like closing people online with a Zoom or even on the phone and so on and so forth. And so I ended up chasing on this path, and about like 2 years ago I started an agency, and then I pretty much shifted my agency towards I got into the construction business. I didn't really have any intention to get into that, but I really wanted to understand the process and how business owners think, and pretty much to become a business owner, and I pretty much became one. But at the end of the day, the point of the story is that I was pretty much postponing to start this business, I would say, for at least 6 months. And every single time I was just distracting myself with the business that I was doing, and I was just coming up with all of the excuses that were out there, and I just simply didn't start a thing. Up until today, one day I just simply got enough, and I just did pick up the phone. I just started doing that thing. it was freaking uncomfortable. Like, I didn't even know like what am I talking about. My English was even worse back then. But I just simply done that thing. And so at the end of the day, I just ended up being, you know, like systematically, like, I'm considering myself as a piece of productive butt regarding to cold calling, for example. I know exactly what I'm calling. I know exactly how this is. It's just like a well figured out rational system for me to generate leads. It's like zero emotions. I just simply know the process. I figured out the shit. And so it took me like 2 months, but I was sucking at it in the beginning. I mean, like I was making like many cold calls throughout my life, but like I was just like super much like sucking at it. And currently I'm in this phase with sales. You know, like I just simply suck at this. And I just gone through around like 3 sales calls and many other negotiations where I've been trying to, you know, like one call close someone, which is like a freaking bad idea. But the point over here is that I just went down this uncomfortable path, and I just got to realize that I'm just getting better. I'm not getting better. I'm not getting fulfilled from, you know, like thinking about the ideas and trying to do this, but I'm just simply getting better by getting to those places where I do not want to go to. And so yesterday something also super interesting and exciting did happen to me, which was recently I just started not only singing but rapping. And so pretty much, you know, combining the two and extend my skill set in this regard. And I really felt like I need some kind of a feedback. I just, you know, like want to give this thing out, not just only by me, you know, singing in my room and uploading on the SoundCloud, but like step on a stage. And yesterday I pretty much went on a jam session, and I just like, man, like I just there were like 25 to max 35 people, handles, I didn't count them, and I just like, you know, like ran like completely cold. I was just like walking up the stage. I mean, I had a few stage experiences back then, but I'm not a lifer on stage, okay? And I just there, and I just started singing. This felt like nothing, you know? And you know why was that? Because I was just putting myself to these cold situations before. It's like I'm just like rapping every single fucking day, and it's like, for me it's nothing. I just like closing my eyes. It's like, if I'd been in my room, it's like nothing. It's like, doesn't make any sense. I was opening up my eyes to the same thing, and it just all came from me actually being willing to embrace this discomfort. And this is what we do all the time, but I do believe that the more willing and the more conscious we are about facing discomfort and actually putting ourselves into those uncomfortable situations, the farther we can go. That's it. The thing that is costing us the most in life is the actual ignorance of the information or of the knowledge, which could be built mostly by getting to the places where we don't feel like going. So, lots of love. This is for today.